Tirana, the capital of Albania, is that the most exciting place in Europe right now? Well, after hearing Mayor Erion Veliaj talk about it, I think it might be. For the Albanian pavilion at this year's Architecture Biennale in Venice, the city of Tirana borrowed a number of doors from various neighborhoods in town. I really wonder how the people feel about lending their doors out to stand here at an architecture exhibition. The symbolism is clear. On the one hand, Albania is hoping with open doors to convince the EU to let it become a member. And secondly, Albania hopes that the symbolism of open doors will get us to think differently about migrants. The mayor of Tirana, Erion Veliaj, is a young, dynamic ball of fire, a 38-year-old guy who studied in the US and is really internationally oriented. And he is working hard, bringing in architects and landscape architects from all over the world to make Tirana a greener and more livable place, and really to put it on our mental map. And he said, come to the opening of the Albanian Pavilion at the Architecture Biennale in Venice. And here we are. And he is indeed a ball of energy. He has huge plans for Tirana with architects and landscape architects from the Netherlands, from Denmark, from Italy. He is really out to make Tirana into a happening place.
The mayor of this city. And she said something very funny. She said, I can see your job description hanging from all these wires. I love the job description. It's the best job in the world. And I'm delighted to do it. But I also was recollecting one of the typical Albanian sayings that for the guest and for God, the door is always open. Actually, it's the other way around. For God and the guest, the door is always open. Actually, some doors are extremely torn apart because we literally removed some of the old Tirana doors to bring to the pavilion. So they are not only metaphorically but physically wide open.
Erion Veliaj, you are the mayor of Tirana, and you just opened the Albanian pavilion here at the Architecture Biennale in Venice. What do we see at the pavilion?
You see a lot of doors, because this city started as a small village, and just like Canberra or Washington, they were accidental capitals. So basically they wanted to keep them away from traditional places of dispute. So they picked up right in the center of this little village. And this little village has a lot of these doors, but it was just a borough. It opened a lot of these doors to now becoming a capital of 1 million people. Albanians from all over, and also a lot of Italians, an international city. So the idea of having an open door, an open heart, and an open mind.
So it has a political meaning as well.
Oh, big time, big time.
What do the photographs above our heads mean?
It's actually, it reminds me of a lot of the discussions in America by Jane Jacobs. They said, I meet so many mayors. We met mayors last week in Holland. They have great infrastructure, but many mayors' life is over by 5 o'clock because everybody goes home to their suburbia. In Tirana, it's 24/7, life on ground zero. As Jane Jacobs used to say, the eyes on the street. So this is the eyes on the street. This is photos of ground zero or space zero, where life happens.
So Mayor Veliaj, you have a lot of plans for Tirana. You're a very ambitious mayor, and you're bringing in architects from all over the world. Tell me something about your plans for Tirana.
But these plans are, they're not exclusive, they're inclusive. So the idea is not to take away the old, but to let the old open the doors for more of the new. So the old can coexist next to a Vinimas or a Bjarke Ingels or a Stefano Boeri or Marco Casamonti or a Mario Cucinella building. And the idea is to show the layers of the city.
But why do the local people not resent having all the big ideas come in from elsewhere?
Let us be clear, there's always a debate. So these things don't go unnoticed. There's always inertia. And I think there's many people who say, oh, no, this is interfering with our way of life. But I think you have to explain, you have to communicate. And you have to say, look, how do we keep an open door, a city that keeps growing, Sometimes we have to think about high quality towers and high rises, density, orbital forests, using more bikes and learning from the Dutch maybe sometimes on how to maximize space and how to be more democratic about space division. And Tirana is not the most modern place or the most developed place. It's definitely the most exciting place.
I'm sure that has a lot to do with you.